In this video, we're going to have a complete walkthrough of user dashboard and asset register in Depreciation Lab. This is a fully loaded data showing asset across every depreciation method. End of the video, you will know how to read every metric on the dashboard, understand what each section tells you about your asset portfolio, and use the asset register to filter, inspect, and export your data. So here is the asset register, which only shows you the summary for manually entered assets. And this can be up to 150 assets, which is here, here, and here. So again, asset register is for manually entered assets. So maximum number of asset rows under asset register can be 150 and not more. With asset register, you can see whole summary, and you can always go directly to particular asset in this section. So if you click here, you can go to this particular section. You can always download the report. That is, you can download the CSV for the asset register. Now, if I go to user dashboard, this is the comprehensive dashboard for all of your data, including the manual entry and bulk upload. Both sections combined data is on user dashboard. So this is a user level data report or user level dashboard. At the very top of the dashboard, you have an organization header. On left, you see your company name. So here, and in this case, it is Online Pro Limited and the fiscal year which you have chosen from the account setting. Next to this year, as I said, is a fiscal year. It shows the fiscal period for your calculation are aligned to. Here is actually it is January to December because you have set official fiscal year in the account setting. Every fiscal year specific number in this dashboard, that is your current year depreciation expense, your tax deduction is calculated against this period. On the right at end of the header, you'll see a small sync status dot. When it is green and it reads sync, your display data matches with your stored calculation. If you just imported your data or ran a new calculation, it will briefly show syncing in an amber white while dashboard refreshes. The main section of the dashboard is titled Book Depreciation Insight, which is here. This is the financial story of your all entered assets, that is bulk and also manually entered, except MACRS and WDV. For those, the data is reported separately down. So the ones you have calculated, book depreciation methods like straight line, declining balance, double declining, units of production and component method, for those assets, the data is appearing here. On the top right, you also have a currency, so which you can filter and see the dashboard accordingly. By default, it will be USD always, but you can always switch to this currency to see the values accordingly. These filters let you view the book matrices in currency at a time. Please keep in mind this does not convert currency. It filters only asset denominated in that currency. So let's switch to USD. So this is the hero value, that is portfolio value. The centerpiece of the dashboard is this metric block. It shows the key number for the book depreciation portfolio in a single view. The dominant figure, the large number on the left, is portfolio value. This total original acquisition cost plus capitalized improvement across all active non-disposed book asset in the selected currency. For this case, it's USD, which is 1.4 billion. When you hover over this value, a precise figure will appear, as you can see here. So the first is net book value, as I said. So this is what your assets are actually worth on your books today. Original cost plus improvements minus accumulated depreciation minus any recorded impairment. For this USD portfolio, this value is 482.2 million. Difference between portfolio value and net book value represents total depreciation you have charged to date. The second figure is FY 2026 expense. This is the total depreciation charge that falls within the current fiscal year, that is January to December 2026. This is the number you will post to your income statement for this period. So for this particular scenario, it is 79.4 million. The third total asset, which is here, this is the count of your active non-disposed book assets currently on the register. 614 in this example. Disposed assets are excluded from this particular count. Below the hero KPI block, there is your method portfolio distribution. This tells you usually how your assets are spread across various methods. You can see here UOP we have the highest, then SL, then DB, and then component. So maybe component is very small, but DB and you can see component is very small. Each color segment represents a method. As I said, the width of each segment is proportional to number of assets using that method. So here also you can see 810 million at its expense depreciation, and remaining is 551 million. So 59% of your assets lifetime has been completed. This section covers portfolio status inventory. It gives you count of your assets by their current life cycle stage. Active assets are assets that still have a remaining depreciable value. They are not fully written down yet. In this particular portfolio, we have 323 active assets. Fully depreciated assets have been reached end of their useful life. The net book value has dropped to or below its salvage value. They remain on the register because they still might be physically in use. That is 140 disposed. That is 291 fully depreciated asset here. Disposed assets have been formally re-recognized from the books as a sale or write-off or a trade-in for another asset. 140 assets in this folio has been disposed as long. Note that disposed assets are excluded from portfolio value and net book value, but their historical depreciation and any gain or loss on disposal is tracked in the method performance ledger below. Below the status inventory, there is a quick access toolbar for a quick action. So adding an asset, that is manual asset. So if I go back, so this is the asset register, bulk section, you can go and you can go to settings. So these are quick access buttons to go to these important sections in the Depreciation Lab app. Now this is the method performance ledger. This is the most detailed financial summary table on the entire dashboard. It breaks down your portfolio performance by depreciation method, giving you line by line view of how each method segment is performing. As you can see on the screen, this table header reads Method Performance Ledger. Let's go through each column. Accounting method is the first column. This is the depreciation method. You will see rows of straight line, declining balance, double declining, units of production, component, MACRS and WDV. Volume meaning count of asset, that is this each method has. A dash indicates 0 assets for that method. Cap base, that is capitalized base. This is the total original cost of all the assets in that method row. For straight line, we have 267.7 million. Improve or improvements, this shows the total cost of capitalized improvement added to the asset in this method group. This is displayed as green. If no improvements were made, this cell will be a dash. Impairment, total recorded impairments in parentheses, as you can see inside a parenthesis, displayed in red. Impairment is a reduction in carrying value beyond normal depreciation. For example, if asset becomes obsolete or below market value, it triggers a write down. That is called impairment. This particular amount shows a charge to P&L. Net book value or NBV balance, the aggregate net book value across all assets in this method row. This is the live book value remaining on your balance sheet for this particular method segment. FY yield is nothing but fiscal year depreciation shown in blue. This is a total depreciation expense charged to the income statement for the current fiscal year for this method group. This is the number your P&L will show every year. The net gain or loss from any disposal within that method group. A positive number is green, indicates gain on the disposal. You sold asset for more than its carrying value or net book value. A negative number is a loss, of course, the other way. At the bottom, you see grand totals row. This sums every column across all method rows, giving you portfolio-wide total cost, improvement, impairment, net book value, fiscal year depreciation, disposal gain or loss. This row is your single line financial position for the entire depreciation portfolio. Now we move to tax depreciation. Before we look at tax depreciation section, it is worth knowing that what a dashboard would look like, a user dashboard would look like for a free or professional tier users. So if you are a professional user or below that, where the depreciation tax section currently is, you will see a locked overlay because you don't have access to that details, right? And you can get that access only when you upgrade to business tier. So this particular section shows US MACRS method and WDV India tax method. So US MACRS is a calculation compliant with IRS publication 946. WDV India tax calculation under Income Tax Act 1961. So you need bulk import, as we have learned in the previous video, to upload up to 1000 assets. So here you'll see overall summary. as we have seen for the both sections or both tax methods. If you want to see other breakdowns here, you can see here for the both methods. And if you want to go to that particular section, that is US MACRS, you click here and you go here, and let's go back to dashboard. And if you go to full report, you will see WDV method here. This is everything in the user dashboard and asset register. You now have a complete picture of how portfolio is performing from high level portfolio value, net book value, down to the individual asset book values. Fiscal year depreciation charges, disposable gain or loss, tax method performance. If you're not set up your fiscal year depreciation in account setting, do that first. It controls the fiscal year depreciation, how it is calculated throughout the entire application. The link is in the settings in account settings button. Thank you so much for watching. This sums up the end of the video series for Depreciation Lab usage. Introduction to Depreciation Lab, of course. We started with that. How to subscribe, how to enroll, how to sign up for a free account, what are the different subscription options you have, and what you get in each subscription model. That is free, professional, and business. If you have any questions or any kind of query, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer that in the comments below. We will also do some advanced level of analytics and edge cases for various methods inside Depreciation Lab. I hope to see you inside Depreciation Lab. If you have any questions, let me know. You can reach out to me through my email, which is available on Depreciation Lab. So if you go to Depreciation Lab, if you go to help and contact, you can reach out to me here. You can reach out to me via contact, or you can email it to me here. Again, thank you so much, and I will see you inside Depreciation Lab.